Hey, everybody. Super special treat here. I have a special guest in the house, and it's Mr. Steve Fall from the band On. I'm going to bring him on. Steve, how you doing?
Hello.
Steve is
Thanks for
a
having me
great.
aboard. I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good. Just sitting out here enjoying the sun. 3 days ago, I was enjoying the snow.
That's crazy. So up in
So this is
Toronto,
good.
it's you guys got a lot of snow.
Yeah, we typically don't get a lot. It's a big megatropolis city like every other big city, but this year we got smacked a little bit. So we got smacked right before we flew out. We're like, oh, are we ever glad we're not going to be here? So it was. We actually had a cold snap last week, which I don't know if people here would understand. It was like minus 15, minus
Below.
20, which it never
Yeah, it's
really gets
horrible.
that bad, but it was, yeah. So we're glad to be here on the West Coast.
Not great for them fingers, I imagine.
No, and it's yeah, the wrist and stuff and the fingers. Yeah, it definitely would be a little bit of a challenge for sure. Yeah, so it's a little bit of a little bit of an issue.
But now
Yeah,
you guys are here on the West Coast, warmer weather, ready to rock. You got a whole bunch of dates coming up, starting in San
yeah,
Diego. Tell me
that's
about
right.
this tour a little bit.
Okay, so we start literally Tuesday night at San Diego here at the Bancroft Bar, I believe it's called, and then we the next night we're in LA in your neck of the woods
Yes,
on the
I'll
Wednesday.
be there Wednesday
And
night. Yes.
yes, what's the venue called? I can't remember. You would probably remember it better than I would. I don't know. I'm trying to plug it, but I don't remember what
Now,
it's
now I'm
called.
forgetting. I thought it was I think it's called the offside.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, and so it looks like a cool little venue. So that's on Wednesday. Thursday we're in Santa Barbara. We've got the day off on Friday, and I should mention this. This is kind of a nice little plug. We're actually guests with the Charlatans UK and Ride. We're going to go see them in San Francisco. Mark from Ride is going to treat us a little bit, and we probably should maybe leak this out. Mark from Ride is we're talking about back and forth about the idea of him mixing some stuff for us. He's going to take it
That's
back to England, so that's sort of something we've been working on.
crazy, man.
Yeah. So that's on Friday, I think, and then Saturday we play Hotel Utah in San Francisco. So we're looking forward to that one too. We've wanted to
Oh,
play there
nice.
for a long time.
Great venue. Great venue.
Yeah, just it ramps up from there. I forget the rest of the dates, but we're basically out here up and down to up to Washington and back, and then down to Texas, and then through here again from now. What is it? February 14, Valentine's Day to April 2nd. So looking forward to it. So then after that, we're going to go back to Toronto. Our drummer lives in New York City, so we're actually writing on the road right now. We wrote a new track called "Once Pretty Things." We're pretty excited about. We might actually play it for you in LA. So we'll see
Oh
if we can
yeah.
get it together. And so that's the plan. We're going to go at the end of April 30 to May 7 with Martin BC Studios called BC Studios in Brooklyn. And we're doing that. And then May the 10th,
So how
we
did you
fly to
guys hook
England.
up
We're going
with
to do.
Martin? That's
Yeah.
crazy, man.
Okay, so our publicist Shauna from Shameless Promotions PR, she and Martin are good friends, and she just basically said, I think you guys would be a good fit with Martin for like cutting some new tracks. And she said, can you guys write on the road and see what the availability is like? And he found out that Dan was in New York. He said, why don't you get Dan to come down to the studio and check it out? So they hit it off, and he went to the studio and said, this place is rad. Like we got to do something here. So we just started chatting, and we just kind of clicked, and I said, look, we can get a couple of songs together. So he goes, no, he goes, let's get a record done. So get right on the road, call me, and we'll set it up. So we kind of targeted a window that we're both available, both teams, and it was really easy. It's New Yorker, right? It's just let's just do it.
Straight
Right.
up,
So
straight up.
we love that. So this is for him, right? Yeah. Mm.
So
So that's
so
the plan. That and then May. Yeah. Sorry.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Just to go back a little bit into the history of the band, you
Sure.
guys were formed from the
Yeah.
ashes of Acid Test.
Mhm.
How did you guys decide to get together and continue as a band and start all over, kind of?
Oh, okay. That's a good question. Okay, so Acid Test, we took a hiatus. I'm going to show my age a little bit in the mid '90s, and then Lucy's like wanted to do something more stripped down. We were Acid Test was more of a hybrid kind of it was kind of like a blender, like kind of like this band, but we had a keyboard doing crazy stuff. We had a DJ scratching back in the day. That used to be a thing, and and we toured out. Actually, we played Vegas with 9 Inch Nails on the Downward Spiral tour with that band. That was our last sort of big pro sort of opening act thing. We were signed to Sire with that band, and all that thing just kind of just went away. And Lucy went back to Toronto. She said, I still want to do it, but I want to do something more stripped down, more like guitar central, like make it be loud. And I'm kind of pissed off. So let's do it like a really angry sort of band. And so on started that way. And we went through, the usual nucleus where you go through band members. And, we had a couple different drummers, a couple different guitar players and in and out. And then Dan came in one day and just clicked. And we've been friends ever since. Dan was a session drummer at the time too. He didn't make his living playing drums outside of us. And, but he always made time for our gigs, and we wrote together and, he put in his time. And, anyway, it's some help there. So, that kept going. Wait, now I'm trying to think. So Dan went off after a while. We kind of took a break, and then Dan went out to play with Danko Jones in Europe, and he was with them for several years. And we did another thing called Interstate, but we always had rotating guitar players, rotating drummers, and Tom Capone from Quicksand was in the band for a couple of gigs. Rob Holiday from The Prodigy was with us for a long time, but then he went back to England. So it was like a kind of like a who's who in the Toronto scene, and then obviously
a little all-star outfit.
Little bit, yeah. And then we got back together. We got back together 3 years ago in New York City. We went down to visit Dan on a lark, and there's a place called Funkadelic Studios right in the city. You can just show up. You don't have to bring your guitars or anything, and you pay by the hour. And it's in the city. You can get pizza and you can hang out or whatever. So we did that. We jammed, and we said, we should start doing this some more. So I went back home and started writing and sending Dan files, and then Dan would send me back files. Even though Dan's a drummer, he plays guitar, he sings, he does everything, and it was really easy. Lucy's in university right now, so she said, why don't you guys take the lead? I'll come in and help out when you guys get something together. And so I flew back down to New York for a week and wrote some more with Dan full on. And a lot of the records have come together that way really quickly. And then Lucy jumped in and wrote a couple tunes. And then Dan went down to Florida to vacation. And he said, why don't you guys come down? I've got this place you can crash. So we said, all right, we're here. We're in Canada. So we did that. And then we wrote at a studio called in Fort Myers, actually Cape Coral, actually, near Fort Myers, Star Sound Studio with Drew Howard. And he started recording us right away. He said, why don't you just start recording? So we kind of had these songs kind of loosely together, and we started with Drew. And then the pandemic was getting kind of weird. We flew back. I'm mixing it up. We had to go back to Florida twice to sort of try to get the record finished. And then Omicron hit, I think, and some others that are business. I don't know. And we ended up finishing the record in Toronto. And then that was in June. And then we toured in Ontario, Canada in August, I guess it was, and caught the vid. we had to cancel some dates. And I guess what is it now? We're into February now. So here we are. This is the update.
And you guys, I'm so glad that you guys have stayed consistently on it and just not giving up, because it's such a zigzag roller coaster. Can you tell me anything about the song Blackmail? I've been playing this song ever since it was sent to me, and I'm just crazy about it. Actually, you don't know this yet, but it's our Truck Stop Mixtape #1 this week.
Oh wow, thank you. Yeah. I had no idea. That's great. That's really cool, man. Well, I make Lucy very happy. Okay, so Blackmail, okay, so the idea behind it, I mean, obviously those are Lucy's lyrics. So I mean, I could try and represent what they mean, but I got an idea what they're about. But the
well, you can tell me how the song came about.
Yeah, sure. So basically, we wrote that Dan and I kind of were working on some riffs at his place, his apartment in New York, and I wanted kind of like a Thin Lizzy kind of a vibe on the guitar, you know, like
Yeah, yeah,
like early Kiss sort of sound or early
completely
Thin
like
Lizzy.
almost bass oriented.
Yeah, you know, and you know, I wanted that kind of like that's just like a cool sludgy sort of attitude, and and you walk around the city and stuff, you get kind of a vibe of like seeing people and you get an idea. So I thought that was cool. So like we had that riff. Dan, I had that riff, and I think Dan actually wrote the intro, and then I wrote bow bow now, and then Lucy kind of came up with her own sort of bass line around it, which was completely from left field, which is usually what happens. So, but then her vocals, she's basically, talking about her sobriety and being pissed off and people leaving in and out of her relationships. And so there's a little bit of that going on. I don't really want to mess up what her lyrical delivery is about, but that was sort of the thing. And when we did the video, I don't know if you saw it. Did you ever see the video for that? I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, no, we played it.
Oh, did you? Okay, yeah. So the video we shot that at rehearsal space near our house, actually in North York, in Toronto, and Lucy had the whole concept. Her cousin actually shot that video. He's a video director, and she had the whole thing. She's like, I want to really perform and just really give it all, right? So that was sort of a flagship song for us. We kind of dug it, and I'm glad you guys like it because we're pretty proud of it. Yeah,
as you should be, and I'm looking forward
thanks.
to seeing y'all play it live, man. This is
Yeah,
this has been truly a pleasure.
likewise.
I just want to say thank you so much for allowing this to happen. Hope to meet you in person next week,
You definitely
and
will.
and thank you so much, man, for real. Thank you. Please say hi to everyone else in the band, and keep rocking, man.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna keep giving her, and hopefully we'll see everybody next Wednesday at the show.
Yes, I'll be there.
All right, buddy. Good chatting
Stay
with you, and
strong,
let's
man.
let's keep in touch, and we'll definitely get that song right. We'll give you a shout out before we play it. So you're like, oh yeah, there's the song I got to pay attention to. Yeah, bring your
I'll make sure
earplugs
the
too.
videotape.
I'll warn everybody. We are an exceptionally loud band, so if you guys want to go to sleep, we're not the right band for you. We are tight and loud, so just
No,
be
that's what I love
forewarned.
about
I'm
you.
deaf.
That's what
I can't hear myself. I crank my guitar up. All right, brother.
no earplugs here. Thank you so much, Steve. Be good. Steve from On, everybody. Blackmail, #1 song this week. What can I say?
Take care.
I need to listen to the whole entire album because I love
Thank
the
you.
other tracks too. Thanks a lot, brother.